Hey guys, The Rock here. Today I'm going to go over A-site defense, and this is going to be a continuation of a series that I'm starting on CT defaults for every map, as well as a good starter T-side. Now everybody knows about the standard positions here on A-site, where you place somebody toward pit, graveyard, or balcony, watching that apps push. Somebody that's going to be playing here on quad or dark here, and then somebody that's playing under porch. I want to go over this brackets control. We call this area brackets. It's better than calling it top of mid or arch side mid or quad side mid, because people know exactly what you're talking about. Now, holding this brackets control is important, but you can fall back from it and still have a good A-site defense if the terrorists are pushing you. Generally, when the terrorists want to push, they're going to be smoking off either boiler side, and they're going to be smoking off arch side and then pushing the opposite side of the smoke. It's very standard practice, but most people don't defend it properly. So let's say that terrorists decide to smoke off arch, and you're the arch player, and you want to help out your quad player as much as possible as they're trying to fall back to site while staying alive. The key to good bracket defense is nade usage. Now, you often find that you might not have the best economy, and you have to choose between getting a full set of nades or and buying a FAMAS or buying an M4 with maybe a flashbang or two. Well, it's far more important when you're playing brackets to have nades, so you need to be buying that FAMAS to make sure that you have all the nades necessary to defend this site. So when this smoke comes down, you need to be starting to expend as many nades as you can to support your quad player as he's falling back. You don't need to be spamming through smoke, hoping to get one kills, because what's going to happen is you're going to run out of bullets, and a terrorist, this happens almost every single time, one is just going to push through this smoke and kill you as you're reloading. And now their game plan has changed. They were going to push quad side, but hey, that player's falling back into sight, taking up a passive position, and there's probably going to be a pit player still alive. Like, well, you know, we just killed this guy on arch side, so let's just push through that way. And now they have the option to flank you through Moto, or they can just go through arch side and take B. You don't want that to happen. So after you've expended your nades, you can start tap firing through this, making sure that you have enough ammo to deal with the player that pushes through that smoke. Or you can start falling back. You can fall back into the arches, playing passively, make sure they don't get through this way and flank your site players. You can fall into library and do the same thing. The key is not losing this arch side control, okay? Because if they get that, like I said before, they can rotate through CT and take B site easily. There's very little that B site defenders can do against people that are pushing banana, CT, and construction at the same time. Generally, you're going to want your best player to be playing arch side, your smartest player, the player that has the best communication, because he is definitely crucial in both A side and B side defense. You want your weakest player to be playing in pit. Pit is probably the easiest position to play. You can play it down in here, playing standard, or you can defend from a balcony push, or you can defend from an arch side push. And you can learn some flashes to help you out with this defense. Or you can peek out with this flash and kill anybody that's pushing truck side. The pit player can also, I do this a lot, play from balcony, and position yourself so that a terrorist right here cannot see your shoulder, so that when they push out, you can kill the balcony players, and you can also kill the guys that are pushing up truck side. If your quad player is still alive, you have the option to hold this narrow angle, and very often you'll find that terrorists will shift walk through long hauls, and they shift walk all the way up into this corner. Well, you can get them while they're shift walking, just double kick them in the head, and then fall back to a safe position in sight. Your quad player, much like the arch side player, if he gets, well, if the arch side gets smoked off and you're playing quad, then you want to start falling back into more passive position in sight, because you don't want to get overwhelmed. You know, you're most likely not going to be able to hold a 5-man push. You get a 5-man spray down. You want to play it smart. You want to fall back in his sight, take up passive position, and play with your pit player. Start using those nades to delay pushes and call for rotates. Now, just like the arch side player, if you get smoked off on quad, you want to start expending those nades as much as you can to help your arch side player maintain that arch control as he falls back. Similarly, tap through smoke, hoping to get some lucky headshots. But maintain some ammo so if somebody pushes through that smoke, you can take care of them. A lot of times when I'm playing quad side, I'll actually just play this position so that I can get anybody that's pushing boiler, and then if my arch side player tells me they're pushing up in brackets, I can peek out and try and get a kill and then fall back in his sight. And sometimes this works better if they're starting to molly off quad. You don't have to worry so much about just being stuck in this position and you know, getting one kill and getting traded immediately. It all depends on how good the enemy team is to whether or not you can play this position effectively. If they're a pretty good team, then you want to start playing it a little bit more passively. Alternatively, the quad player has several options at the beginning of the round. If he gets the good spawn, furthest left of his teammates, he's going to be spawning about right here. He can actually run through arches, jump over mid, and then jump over day room in apps to get into alt without being seen. So at the beginning of the round, you knife run, jump over mid. I usually look that way. Jump over balcony, and I start shift walking about right here. Should not be heard. I'll peek out here, and if I don't see anyone, I'll continue to push through T-apps. And very often you'll find that you can actually shift walk all the way through these T-apps and get behind all the T's that are setting up for execution. It takes about 30 seconds to walk through this, but sometimes you'll actually get right in the middle of them. And you can go a player that's like here, close to top of mid, you know, or if they're setting up for a B-side execution, you can just really throw kinky things. Now, this kind of aggression, you don't want to pull out, you know, every single round. You know, if you get that spawn, you know, 5 rounds in a row, you don't want to be pushing that 5 times in a row, right? You want to have some measured aggression. You want to bring out your aggression every once in a while to throw them off their game. Because if you start doing it every single round, then that's going to be predictable as well. Alternatively to pushing it into alt, you can just play it a little bit safer and do the same thing. Push through boiler, come into day room. You want to check this spot right here, which good terrorist team will have somebody watching here to watch for people that are crossing boiler and to kill anybody that's coming day room. If you don't see anyone there, you can usually peek out and get a kill for somebody that's knife running up this up alt. And then if you do get that kill, you need to be falling back into a passive position and then playing your man advantage. Whenever you make it a 4v5, then you don't need to be continuing your aggression. You need to play out that man advantage and just win the round that way. Other than that, A site defense is simple, but it's tough, and it really comes down to good nade usage, and then aim duels after that. And the key is just delaying and delaying and delaying as much as possible to get that B rotator to come and make it a 4v5 before they even start pushing the site. Now for the pit player, one thing that I didn't cover was playing in sight. You can jump on these boxes and watch for anybody that's trying to push balcony this way. Generally, it's only good for one kill. You get a kill and you can drop down and be a little bit more passive watching this area. But it's a good position to play every once in a while. There's even some people that will mess it up. It'll jump up here and play this position. I mean, this is hardly a reject, but it's also one of those positions that if you're playing against a good team, yeah, you're going to get one kill, but you're going to get instantly traded. So just be careful of that. Other than that, that's pretty much all there is to A site defense. You generally want your best players to be playing on A site. It's harder to defend than B site. B site is a lot about just flashing the oncoming team and getting spray downs or delaying as much as possible for your A site rotators.